Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Dina Arshad with entry number 2025100927. I will start this video presentation with the introduction. In today's highly competitive food and beverage industry, organic growth alone is often not enough. Strategic mergers and acquisition have become a powerful tool for companies to expand and stay competitive. Merger and acquisitions have been a key part of Fraser and Neave growth strategy. Through M&A, FNN has strengthened its presence across Southeast Asia, particularly in the food and beverage industry. Major acquisitions include Coca-Cola's bottling operations in Malaysia in 2005 and Lion Brewery in Sri Lanka in 2012. This strategic move allowed FNN to expand its product portfolio and regional reach. With strong leadership, careful planning, and effective integration, FNN successfully consolidated its position as a major food and beverage company, creating a long-term competitive advantage in the region. So, what are the type of merger and acquisition best describe the relationship between Fraser and Neave and Coca-Cola? The merger between Fraser and Neave and Coca-Cola is classified as a horizontal merger because both companies operate within the beverage industry. FNN is a regional food and beverage producer and distributor in Southeast Asia, while Coca-Cola is a global non-alcoholic beverage brand with well-established bottling operations. This horizontal merger enabled FNN to expand its market share, gain immediate access to bottling infrastructure and distribution networks, and achieve economies of scale. At the same time, leveraging Coca-Cola's strong global brand helped FNN strengthen its competitive position in the non-alcoholic beverage market. So next, why did Fraser and Neave choose to pursue this merger and acquisition? One key reason for the merger and acquisition was market expansion. FNN was able to strengthen its presence in the Malaysian non-alcoholic beverage market and enter the market quickly using existing Coca-Cola operations. Another reason was operational efficiency. Access to established bottling plants and distribution networks help reduce production and logistic costs while improving overall operational performance. Strategic brands leverage also play an important role. By associating with Coca-Cola's globally recognized brand, FNN enhanced its product portfolio and gained a stronger competitive advantage against the other beverage producers.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nabil bin Nurisan with metric number 2025300811. Now, I will present about the values of the companies before the merger. First, let's look at FNN Holdings Berhad. Based on historical data from Bursa Malaysia, the share price of FNN Holdings Berhad was RM5.50 per share as of 29 September 2005. This price represents the market valuation of FNN before the merger took place. Therefore, we use this share price as an indicator of FNN's company value prior to the merger. Next, for Coca-Cola bottling operations in Malaysia, the valuation method is different. The Coca-Cola company is multinational corporation, so there is no single share price specifically for its Malaysian bottling operations. Instead of share-based valuation, the transaction was treated as an asset-based acquisition. This means that FNN acquired Coca-Cola's bottling assets and operation in Malaysia rather than purchasing share as a standalone listed company. Now, let's move on to the number of shares for each firm before the merger. As you can see from the slide, FNN Holdings Berhad had a total of 356,493,000 outstanding shares before the merger. This figure represents the company's share capital as recorded in their financial statement. Earlier, I already explained that Coca-Cola bottling operations do not have any share listed. This is because Coca-Cola is a multinational company and its bottling operations are structured differently compared to a publicly listed firm like FNN Holdings. Therefore, only FNN's shares are shown here. Next, let's look at the costs of acquisition paid by FNN Holdings Berhad. In the year 2005, FNN Holdings Berhad took over the Coca-Cola bottling operations in Malaysia. This move was a strategic attempt to establish a strong base in the beverages sector. The acquisition cost was approximately Ringgit Malaysia 75 million, which was paid to Atlantic Industries Limited, a subsidiary of the Coca-Cola Company. This payment was not for share, but rather for the right to operate and purchase Coca-Cola concentrates in Malaysia. As I mentioned earlier, Coca-Cola bottling operations do not have share listed because they are part of multinational company structure. This acquisition marked an important milestone for FNN Holdings, strengthening its position in the beverage industry.
Next, I will explain the synergy value from the merger. The Coca-Cola and Fraser and Neave FNN partnership is not purely financially driven. Instead, the partnership focuses on developing long-term synergies by creating opportunities for cost saving and increased profit through collaboration and strategic partnership. Now, if we look at the figures shown here, the net profit increased from 132 million in 2005 to 143 million in 2006. This increase in net profit from 132 million to 143 million shows that the acquisition helped improve profitability through cost savings and efficiency gains. Additionally, the positive impact on earnings indicate that the acquisition is value creating, as it increased investor confidence and supported the company's long-term growth and sustainability. Overall, this clearly demonstrates that the merger generated strong synergy value and contribute positively to the company's financial performance. Next, I will move on to the NPV, EPS, and PE ratio of the merger. First, let's look at the net present value, NPV. The net present value of the acquisition cost is determined by comparing the synergy benefit with the 75 million purchase, and the NPV determines whether FNN receive value from this transaction. Although there were synergy benefit gained by FNN due to the acquisition, the NPV was negative, which means that the acquisition was not fully recovered through the monetary synergies obtained from the acquisition. Next, in terms of the PE ratio, the confidence that investors have in FNN as a result of their current income is reflected in the PE ratio based not only on past performance. This indicates the uncertainties regarding potential negative NPV still exist, but it also shows that the company's PE ratio of 14.86 is higher than the average ratio relative to the market. Therefore, this suggests that investors are likely to expect the continued strong growth from FNN. Lastly, looking at the EPS, the EPS reflects FNN purchasing power and the acquisition, and by having an EPS of 0.347 ringgit Malaysia, FNN was able to show a degree of financial stability through their continued profitability from the transaction. Overall, while the NPV shows some concerns, the EPS and PE ratio indicate positive investor confidence and long-term growth expectation for.
Okay, so for this slide, I will present to you about the evaluation on the merger result. As you, we evaluate FNN Holding Berhad acquisition for the Coca-Cola Malaysian bottling operation in 2005, which was purchased with 75 million. From a financial perspective, as we look, the estimated synergy value of the acquisition was 43 million. Based on 11 million is an annual profit increase over the 5 year, and 8% is a discount rate. This resulted in a negative net present value of 32 million, which indicate that the acquisition was not financially profitable when assessed purely using the present net value. But if you look in a short-term impact, we can say that FNN company net profit has increased by 7 million from 2005 to 2006. This suggests that the acquisition generate operation synergy possible through economic scale, improve of distribution efficiency, or better operation integration. In terms of market performance, the earning per share stood of 0.37 with a price to earning ratio is 14.86, which reflect reasonable investor confidence. Besides that, this indicator do not fully capture the financial success of the acquisition. Now we look at the strategy value. The acquisition strengthen FNN company beverage portfolio and provide a greater control over the Coca-Cola bottling and distribution network of them in Malaysia. Why these benefits are not reflected in the NPV calculation? They contribute to the FNN in a long-term strategy positioning. So, although the acquisition did not generate positive NPV, but in a short term, it's delivered the strategy and operational value that support FNN in a long-term business. So now for this slide, we will focus on the defensive strategy in relation to the merger and the acquisition between the Coca-Cola company and the FNNs in 2005. So in this case, no defensive strategy were applied by the target company because the acquisition was a friendly one. Coca-Cola willing sold its Malaysian bottling operation as a part of global strategy to focus more on a brand management rather than direct bottling activity. But in general, during hostile takeover situation, target firm often added defensive measurement to prevent being acquired. One common strategy in the poison pill, which allow existing shareholder to purchase additional share at a discount price, making the takeover more expensive for the bidder. Another method is the crown jewels defense, where the target of the company dispose of the threatened to dispose of its most valuable asset to reduce its attractiveness to the acquiring firm. In addition, Golden Parachute provide top management with substantial compensation in the event of a takeover, which is it can increase the overall cost for the acquiring company, although this does not completely prevent the takeover. Lastly, for the weakness strategy, it involves the seeking an alternative and more favorable acquirer to protect the company interest. So, as to conclude for this slide, for your understanding better, although none of these defensive strategy were used in the Coca-Cola FNN acquisition due to its immeasurable nature, understanding this method is really important and stay good for the analyzing merger acquisition activity for the other company.
Finally, I will conclude our presentation. In conclusion, Fraser and Neave FNN has successfully merged with Coca-Cola bottling operation in Malaysia through a horizontal merger in order to take share away from their competitors in the beverage marketplace. This merger helped to improve FNN overall operation, increase its competitive position and achieve overall profitability. The merger achieved significant synergies as reflected by increased net profit and operational efficiency. However, it is important to note that the negative NPV means that the acquisition did not fully compensate for the financial cost of the transaction. Nonetheless, Fraser and Neave consistent EPS and reasonable PE ratio indicate continued confidence from investor and value for shareholders. In summary, even though from a financial perspective based on net present value, the acquisition was not attractive. It provided Fraser and Neave with many strategic and operational benefit and supports the long-term viability and sustainable growth potential of the company. That concludes our presentation.